Nick Saban has made a definitive statement on who's going to be playing quarterback. It is Jalen Milroe. No more controversy, no more drama around should it be this guy, should it be that guy. He said, listen, we're going with Jalen Milroe. I'm paraphrasing, but that was essentially what he said. And he cited that Jalen Milroe was a good teammate on the sidelines during the USF game, did a good job supporting the guys while they were out there on the field as Jalen Milroe wasn't playing. So it sounds like there's some things within that building that Nick Saban is citing, as well as what he saw on Saturday. I'm not going to speak on that. Don't have any insight on that. So what I can speak to is what we've seen on the football field. What we've seen on the football field is Jalen Milroe gives you the best chance to score points as an offense. We'll talk more about that here in a second. Alabama fans, had a lot of y'all join the party. We're so glad to have y'all here. When I say join the party, of course, I mean subscribe to the channel. So if you have not yet, make sure you're locked in. Met a lot of y'all in Tuscaloosa. Was an absolute blast to put a face to a username in the comment section and a follower on Twitter. But make sure you're dialed in here. Also follow me on those platforms at Judy Pickell on Twitter and on Instagram. So here's the deal. We all know it. Nick Saban knows it. And I think everybody in that locker room knows it. Jalen Milroe gives the Alabama offense the most juice. That's no knock on Tyler Buchner. That's no knock on Ty Simpson. But you watch the USF game, even in a limited sample size from both those other quarterbacks, and you watch the Texas game with Jalen Milroe, it's not hard to tell. Like, you don't have to be a retired offensive coordinator to have a good gauge for which offense looks better from an eye test perspective. For a while there was this unknown is undefeated narrative in your mind as a college football fan, saying, well, Jalen Milroe looks this way, but hey, Ty Simpson, Tyler Buchner, I haven't really seen those guys. In my mind, they look like guys that could throw some good passes and even more so not turn the ball over. Maybe they give us that vertical element downfield with less mistakes. And now we saw it against the USF. You know, we saw that game and we saw what they didn't have in terms of efficiency throwing the football, right? Even in a limited sample size, you understand Jalen Milroe gives you the best chance to score points. And that's what this can be distilled down to in my mind. At the end of the day, when rubber meets the road, Jalen Milroe gives your offense the best chance to score points. And that's why Nick Saban made him the quarterback. Now, here's the thing. Jalen Milroe being named your starting quarterback, being named as the guy going forward now, you made him the starting quarterback because of his skill set. Because he can turn what would be a sack into a first down running the football when he scrambles out of it. Let's take it from the Alabama offense to the Jalen Milroe Alabama offense. Let's play to his strengths. Okay, so we have some issues in the quick game. We have some issues at times not putting the ball in harm's way. Well, let's limit the situations where that's going to be an issue. Let's call some more quarterback design runs. Let's play to his athletic strength. Let's put him in positions where he feels comfortable with the pass concepts being called. Let's give him a small menu. Let's let him cook. Let's not overcomplicate things and try and put things into this offense that he doesn't feel comfortable doing. Make it the Jalen Milroe offense. We're going to go as he goes in that capacity in terms of him not turning the football over. Let's let him cook a little bit here. And so I would also say this, while it's super important for Jalen Milroe to play well, it's important for him to put this Alabama offense in position to succeed, but it's not on him for them to succeed. We've said it all off season long. Whoever played quarterback for Alabama, it's not going to be Bryce Young style of football where we ask you to drop back and throw for 300 and scramble around and be incredible every single snap. Like, that's not the formula this year for Alabama. And so I think when you watch that game against USF, yeah, the quarterbacks didn't look great. But even so, man, that offensive line, I don't care if they were dinged up, there has to be more there. Yes, they ran the ball at 5 yards a carry. That's great. I'm not saying statistically. I'm saying from an attitude, from an edge, having that killer instinct mentality. We've seen that from Old Bama. I want to see that from this offensive line. Defense held up their end of the bargain that game. Can the offensive line and just the overall attitude of this Alabama offense get to where it needs to be? Because I think now with Jalen Milroe, you have some more juice offensively. You have a chance to be more explosive. Can you hold up your end of the bargain? Can you be the engine of this offense that we're asking you to be consistently week in and week out? But again, with Jalen Milroe now, it is his offense. Let's tailor it to him. Let's position him to be successful. I think everyone agrees that you are now 100% bought in, for better or for worse, to Jalen Milroe being your quarterback. Let's work with it now. Because for Alabama, I think what you're seeing here too is Nick Saban understanding like, hey, the time for figuring it out is behind us. We already dropped that game to Texas. We drop another one, no college football playoff, no national title. Like, that's kind of the obvious statement right there, but that's the standard in Tuscaloosa, to win national titles. And so with Ole Miss coming to town this weekend, he's like, all right, we got to pick a direction. Sometimes the decision made today is better than the plan executed tomorrow. So executing the plan today, saying we're executing our plan with number 4 as quarterback, let's ride. Small menu, quarterback runs, let's ride. So I can't wait to watch it. I think there is a great litmus test for us seeing Alabama now with Jalen Milroe as definitively the guy in Tuscaloosa. And I'm excited to see how they respond. Excited to see how they respond to the lackluster game against USF. And excited to see how Jalen Milroe responds after not playing at all against USF and having a good game against Texas, but ultimately some pretty costly turnovers. Cannot wait to see how they respond, like I said, with Nick Saban. Out for blood is how I would describe it. I think Nick Saban and this team have got a little bit of an edge to them, and going to be fun to watch. Make sure you're dialed in. Make sure you're subscribed. We are live tomorrow morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. But tomorrow, we are picking our games for Week 4. So we'll pick Alabama, Ole Miss. We'll pick Notre Dame, Ohio State. We'll pick Florida State, Clemson, Colorado, Oregon. We'll pick all those games, and we'll talk only college football right here. I'll pin the link to that live show in the comments below. So make sure you're dialed in. Again, 11 a.m. Eastern. Cannot wait to see y'all there. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.